Hi guys, welcome back. In this video we are going to solve some problems using bit manipulation. In case you missed the first part, you can find the link in the description box below. The question here is this: you're given an array where every element appears twice except one. So here 2 appears once, but 1 appears twice, 4 appears twice. What we need to do is we need to find that number which appears only once. Now there are different ways to do it, but we need to get the best solution. So let's first discuss what are the different ways that we know of. One thing we can do is we can sort this. So we get 1, 1, 2, 4, 4. Right? This is what we get when we sort it. And then we start checking from the beginning that whenever we get a new element, say 1 is new, the next element should also be the same. So it's 1, 1, and then you come to 2. 2 is a new element, so the next element should also be 2, but it's not 2, it's 4. Therefore you can return 2. 2 is the element that appears once. But what is the time complexity for this? It's n log n, right? Because we have to sort it first, and the best you can get with sorting is n log n. So let's move to a solution with a better time complexity. So we can also solve this using hashing. What we do in that is we will iterate this array. Every time we find a new element, we'll store the count of it. So let's say we iterate, okay? So we come to 2, alright, and its count so far is 1. Then we move to the next element, it's 1, count so far is 1. We come to 4, count so far is 1. Again we come to 4, 4 is already present, so all we have to do is update the count. Then we come to 1, 1 is already present, we have to update the count. Okay. Now we will again iterate this and check which key has value count is 1. Everything else is 2, there will be one key whose value will be 1, and we can return that key. Now the time complexity for this is linear because we had to iterate the array only once. So the time complexity is linear. However, we are using extra space, right, to store these numbers here. So the space complexity is also n. Can we do better? Like the time complexity expected is still order of n, but then can we do better with space? So this is where these bitwise operations will help us. So to solve this, we have some 2 facts that we can use. One is, when you XOR 2 same numbers, you get 0. For example, you check 4 is 1, 0, 0 and 1, 0, 0. If I XOR them, we know that XOR gives 1 only when the 2 bits are different, but here everything will be the same, right, because it's the same number. So the XOR result is going to give us 0. Another fact is, whenever you XOR a number, let's say 4 with 0, any number you XOR with 0, you'll get the number itself, right? So we are going to use these 2 facts to solve this problem. Now if I iterate this array and keep doing XOR of all the elements, what will happen? 4 and 4 are same, so they'll result to 0. 1 and 1 is same, so it will get cancelled and result to 0. So again you will be left with 0 XOR with 2. We know that any number XORed with 0 is the number itself. So the result of this whole operation will be 2. And that's what we wanted, right? We wanted to return the element that appears only once. So you basically run a loop where, let's say your result, you can initialize your result to a of 0. If this is the array, a is the array, and then you can iterate from I is equal to 1 to length minus 1, and all you can do is result is equal to result XOR with a of I. In the end, this result is going to return you 2. Alright, we'll solve another question. The question here is, how many bits do I need to flip in the binary representation of given 2 numbers so that I can make them the same? We'll first take an example to understand the question. I'm going to take a very random example, let's say something like this. Okay, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. If I flip these 2 bits, it's going to give me 1, 0, same as this. And if I flip these 2 bits, it's going to give me 0, 1, same as this. Totally I need to flip 4 bits to make them the same numbers. Okay. Now how do we do this? We'll take a smaller example so that we can understand better. We'll take 1 0 1 1 0, okay, and 1 1 0 1 0. Totally I need to flip 2 bits here, right, in this example, so that these two numbers will be same. It will be 1 1 0 1 0. Okay. What is that bitwise operation I can do so that it returns me some value which will represent that both the bits are different? It's XOR, right? In XOR, if both the bits are same, it returns me 0. However, if they are different, it returns 1. If it's different, it's going to return me 1. Now, in this entire entire bit representation that I receive, how many ever bits are 1, those many flips I need to do. There are 2 bits which are 1. And we know that we have to do 2 flips, right? The answer is 2. Okay. So now, okay, we have done XOR, we have got this far. But how do I know that how many bits are set in the binary representation? So let's say the number was 1100. Yeah. So I need to count how many bits are set in this, how many bits are 1. So what we'll do is, we'll initialize the count to 0. Okay. And then we'll start doing AND operation with 1. What is the result of this? It's 0. So you don't need to increment your count. We'll move on. What we are going to do is, whatever this number was, let's say the number was n, we are going to right shift it by 1 digit. Okay. If I right shift by 1, what will I get? This 0 will drop off and I'll get 110. So 110. Again, if I do AND, I'm going to get 0, so I won't increment my count. Again, I need to do a right shift 1 time. Now, if I do AND, what will I receive? I'll receive 1 here. So, if it's not 0, I'm going to increment my count, so count will become 1. Again, I do a right shift. Again, I'll get 1, so my count becomes 2. Again, I do a right shift, the number becomes 0. When the number becomes 0, you can stop. So this is going to give you how many bits are set in a binary representation, and we can return the answer. So yeah, there are 2 things we need to see to do this problem. First, we have to do XOR of A and B. Whatever result we get, let's say the result of A and B is a number n. We need to see how many bits are set in the binary representation of n. In order to do that, we are going to keep right shifting the number and doing an AND operation with 1. Whenever the bit is 1, the 1 on top of it in the binary representation of this, we are going to increment our count. If not, we'll keep it 0. Okay, let's solve an intermediate question now. We are given a number, we have to find whether its binary representation forms a palindrome. So these 1 is same, 0 is same, this forms a palindrome. 1 0 1 1, these 2 are same, these 2 aren't, so it doesn't form a palindrome. So we have to return whether or not it forms a palindrome. Okay. Now, let's say we'll take this for example, this returns a palindrome. How do we check that? There should be some way for us to see that, there's a 1 here, but there's also a set bit in the beginning. If this is 0, this should also be 0. So how do we really check whether it's 1 or 0, right? That's the main thing. Okay. If I do an AND operation with of 1 with any number, whatever is immediately on top of it, it's going to reflect that. If this is 1, my result will be a non-zero value, like it will be 1 here, right? Others can be whatever, but at least I'm going to get 1 1 in the binary representation. Okay. Similarly, if I did an AND operation with 1 0, this right here is 0, right? Therefore, whatever is on top of it is 0, so it's going to return me 0. Others are anyway 0, so the whole expression evaluates to 0, right? That means I need to be able to shift my 1 here and there. If it returns me 0, that means the top bit was 0. If it doesn't return me a 0, like any bit representation with 1 in it, that means the top bit was 1 on top of it. Okay. Now let's trace the algorithm to see. Okay. So we have initialized L with 0 and R with 3. That means its left hand side is 0, 1, 2, 3. So how many other bits we have? We are going to initialize R with 3. which is the right side, and left side is 0. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to do first 1 left shift r times. What is the value of r? It's 3. Okay. So I'm going to get 1 0 0. This is what I'm going to get, right? If I do 1 left shift 3 times. Okay. And what is that going to return me? It's going to return me a value which is not 0, because on top of it, on top of this 1 bit, there's a 1. Okay. So in case if I'm getting this, I'm going to return true. If it's not all 0, I'm going to return true. Okay. Let me just write it down here that we received a true. Okay. Now I'm doing, my left bit is 1 left shift L times. The value of L is 0. So if I left shift 1 0 times, I'm going to get 1 itself. Okay. So 1 here. The value on top of it is 1, so it's going to return me 1 and others are 0. However, this entire value is not 0, so again I'm going to return true. Okay. So I got true last time and I got true this time also, right? In the same iteration. Therefore, I can say that both the bits are same, which is both the bits were 1. Okay. Let's move on. Now, while this is true, while both the conditions are true, I'm going to do r minus minus and L plus plus. Okay. Alright. So again now I need to do 1 left shift r times. My value of r was 3, now the value of r is 2. Okay. And the value of L will be 1. Okay. So 1 left shift 2 times. What is that going to give me? It's going to give me 1 0 0. So 1 0 0. And what if I do bitwise AND here? The value on top of 0, so the whole expression is going to give 0, so it's going to give false. Okay. Now 1 left shift 1 time, right? Okay. What is this going to give me? It's going to give me 1 0, because I've done left shift 1 time. So this gave me 1 0. So 1 0. What is this expression going to evaluate to? The bit on top of 1 is 0, so the entire expression will evaluate to 0, bitwise AND. So this is also going to return me false, right? Both return false. If both are same, again I'm going to move forward. Now my r will become 1, my L will become 2, right? L is not less than r, so you stop. So far everything was good, so you will return that it's a palindrome. We'll take another example that is not a palindrome and then see what happens. Okay. Let me just erase this so that we can trace in a better way. Alright. I'm going to take 1 0 1 1. Okay. The first time we have already checked, right? The first time when the value is 0 and 3, before we do this, the value is 0 and 3. We already know it's 1 and 1, we already traced it, so it returned us true and true, right? True and true. So then r minus minus returned, r minus minus returned 2 here, L plus plus returned 1 here. Okay. So I need to do 1 left shift 2 times and 1 left shift 3 times and see the result. If I left shift 2 times, 1 0 0. What is this going to evaluate to? 0. Therefore, it's going to evaluate to false. Okay. And left shift by 1 time, that means 1 0. What is this evaluating to? The bit on top of it is 1, right? So it's going to evaluate to 1 0. This is not 0, right? The entire value is not 0. So this is going to return me true. The moment these two values are not same, I'm going to return that it's not a palindrome, right? Not a palindrome. Therefore, yeah, this is how you can solve this problem. That's it for this video. I would love to hear your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe in case you want to solve more such questions with me.